Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech on something that I feel very strongly about, which is animal abuse and animal neglect. I think this is a subject that's kind of touchy for some people. I know for me it is. I think that in no situation, under any circumstances, should any animal be deliberately abused or neglected. Some facts that I found running upon my research is that there's an estimated 10,000 puppy mills in the US alone. That's not taking into account any other countries in the world. There's roughly about 150,000 American horses that are slaughtered each year for human consumption. That fact alone in itself bothers me probably the most, just because I do have a passion for horses and I absolutely love them, and I cannot imagine somebody eating a horse. 250,000 animals fall victim to hoarding annually, which is another sad fact. I just think that the way I look at it is, if you are not stable financially, mentally, physically, in any way capable to take care of an animal, then you should not have that animal. There are a lot of different forms of cruelty: starvation, abuse, killing, dog fighting, all these different things that people get into that I think are completely awful. I'm not going to say any name, but for example, because I do work at the tack shop, I do have people who come in often who bring in claims or complaints about them hearing word that somebody's starving their horse, which I think is awful. Horses are very expensive pets. I know alone I pay for just one of my horses, my main horse Colin, his board each month. Luckily, I get a discount on it because he's boarded at a family friend's facility. Typical board in New Hampshire is anywhere between $300 and $700, $300 being rough board when you provide your own grain, hay, and shavings, as well as you do the work either every day or most of the week as far as cleaning out the stalls and the paddocks. Full board would be somewhere around $600 or $700, where everything's done for you. So I pay about $450 for board each month just for my horse. That's not taking into account his shoeing, which gets done every 6 weeks. That is about $140 every 6 weeks for his shoes. His annual vet fees can be upwards of $300 to $400. That's just the basic care of a horse. You can't even take into account if your horse were to, God forbid, fall down and break its leg in the paddock. That's upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 just to get the vet out and do x-rays, and then you're talking about sending your horse into the clinic and having them stay overnight, and that can be upwards of 15 grand. So that is something to take into consideration. Horses are a very, very, very expensive pet to keep and maintain, and I definitely think that if you don't have the means to take care of your horse properly, then you shouldn't have one, for the sake of the animal, and not just, yeah, you may love horses, but if you're not going to be able to treat that horse right and make sure it lives out a full, healthy, happy life, then you probably shouldn't have one. Same with dogs. I think that a lot of people with another issue that I really find that pushes my buttons is people who breed dogs. Not all dog breeders. I think that if you have a dog with really good bloodlines and you are a registered breeder, that's okay, but I cannot stand when people just take their dogs or horses or any animal that's just grade, basic animal, and it's not fixed, and they find the nearest other animal that's still able to make babies and they have them make babies. I mean, the way I look at it is, there are so many horses, dogs, other animals, cats out there that need homes, that are in shelters. So why don't you go adopt instead of making more animals and being a contributor to the problem? because you know these babies are going to end up in the wrong hands and end right back up in the shelters, the kill pens, or anything. So my visual example is a picture of my dog. Her name is Della. She is a pit bull black lab mix. She just turned, I would say, probably 2 this August. My friend went to college down in Tennessee, and she was walking home from school one day, and she found this dog tied to a tree with a chain with a note attached to her collar with a bowl of rice and beans, and the note said, "Please take me to the nearest animal shelter." She said, "No way, absolutely not. I'm not taking this dog to the animal shelter. I am going to bring it home and find a home for it." And now she's with me. She's been with me for a little over a year now, and she has the best home she could possibly ask for. And I think that that's just what everyone should be doing. Instead of going around and making their animals have babies, they should go and find an animal who needs a loving home and a loving family. I just think that people don't necessarily think before they act about certain things, especially when it comes to animals. Not all people are animal lovers like me, so animal abuse may not hit them as hard, make them as emotional, but I just think that we need to continue to try to improve the living quality for the animals that don't have it made, because they deserve to live too. I don't think that we should abuse them just because we don't like them. If you don't like the animal, then don't own the animal. Give it to somebody who does love it and will take care of it.